We're about to complete a great quest.
Oh, rats.
Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the voice of the Junkman, coming back at you with another video. Okay, this is part 3 of our look at deleted scenes from the Indiana Jones films. And I'm sorry, but this one's just gonna be audio. You don't get to see my pretty face. Be honest with you, I woke up with a very bad hair day, and I just couldn't bring myself to get in front of a camera. So, unlike the other two, when you looked at the deleted scenes from Raiders and Temple of Doom, this one here is just going to be me doing a voiceover. Now, let's not waste any more time. I'm not going to tell you about t-shirts or how to be a Patreon supporter. All that's in the description below. Now, first look at the deleted scenes from The Last Crusade is when Indiana Jones goes to meet Walter Donovan, who sends him on his mission to find his father, or the Holy Grail. In the original scene, Indy was kind of forced there. Two hitchmen show up and pull a gun on Indy. But Indy agrees to follow him because he doesn't want to endanger the students having a fight on the college campus. The scene of Indy at Donovan's penthouse is cut down to a little shorter also. In the original cut, we have more scenes with Indy and the hitchman as he waits on Donovan to arrive. You can see where this is probably cut out or shortened to make the film flow better. Now, in the past videos with Raiders and Temple of Doom, we looked at key scenes that would help the plot better. In Raiders, we look at a scene that would have explained why Indy knew not to look at the Ark when it was opened. And in Temple of Doom, we got an explanation of how Short Round knows to put fire on Indy to awake him from the darkness. So here's a scene from Last Crusade that will explain the plot a little better. The scene was going to be Indy and Marcus heading to Venice. While on the airplane, Indy studies his father's diary. In the diary, he finds the rubbing of the Grail tablet. But above that picture of the tablet is a sketch of a stained glass window with the Roman number X. This gives a little bit more explanation of why Indy knows to look for the X in the library. We've seen Nazis get punched. We've seen heroes get punched. Did we see a camel get punched? Sadly not. But we would have if we got this deleted scene. As Marcus and Sala run from the Nazis at the train station, there was originally 2 additional scenes. One of Sala slapping a camel. This causes it to spit mucus all over the Nazis nearby. And then we see another fight between Sala and the Nazis. When Indy and Elsa arrive at the castle to free Henry from the Nazis, Indy dresses up like a Scottish lord, doing a Scottish accent. In the film, the butler doesn't believe Indy's story and says, "If you're a Scottish lord, then I'm Mickey Mouse." But the original line was, "If you're a Scottish lord, then I'm Jesse Owens." The line was changed again to say, "If you're a Scottish lord, then I'm Mae West." However, Spielberg and Lucas thought that reference might be lost on some of the younger viewers. So, once again, the line was changed to the line we know today. "If you're a Scottish lord, then I'm Mickey Mouse."
And if you are a Scottish lord, then I am Mickey Mouse.
But once Indy realized the butler's not believing his story, he punches him unconscious, puts him on his back, and starts looking for a place to hide the body. Indy finally finds a place to put the butler, inside one of those old mummy tombs. You know, kind of like King Tut was buried in. He puts him inside, closes the lid that has a face that looks similar to the butler. In the original cut of the film, of course we see Indy knock out the butler, but then it just cuts to him and Elsa walking around the castle, and no one ever wonders where the body is. In the original cut, when Hitler goes back to get the diary from the Nazis, we get a little bit more. Before the book burning starts, Hitler was seen marching with his lieutenant while a woman was filming the scene. The woman was Hitler's official biographer. Once Indy and Henry spot Elsa with the high-ranking officers, standing next to Hitler was Himmler, who was played by Ronald Lantz, who played Tote in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And speaking of the Berlin airport, there was more to that scene also. As Indy and Henry prepare to buy a ticket, Indy spots Vogel and another Nazi standing guard at the plane's ticket line. He and Indy rush back through the crowd to hide. They make their way through the crowd and get in the only unguarded ticket line, where they buy the first ticket they can, and Henry explains, as he does also in the film, he got the first available flight out of Germany. This is why they take the Zeppelin instead of an airplane. In another deleted scene, during the flight on the Zeppelin, we were going to get a scene with a flying ace bragging about all his flying adventures in World War I. This scene would have cut back and forth between the flying ace and the conversation that Indy and his dad was having. As Indy and Henry head down to the biplane, all the passengers start to hear about a spy on board. The drunk flying ace jumps up to help catch these spies. The flying ace discovers there's another biplane to go after the spies. Without thinking, the flying ace jumps into the plane's cockpit. However, the flying ace forgets to start the engine before ditching the plane from the Zeppelin, therefore causing the plane to plummet to the ground below. During this scene was also a Gestapo agent who was played by Pat Roach, who also appeared in Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. Another deleted scene explains how Indy and the gang tracked down the Nazis to the canyon of the Crescent Moon. After surviving the tank battle, they witnessed an explosion in the far distance. However, since Henry has a copy of the map of the canyon in his diary, Spielberg felt this scene wasn't needed. In our last deleted scene, the second challenge for the Grail Temple was first plans to have tarantulas hidden under the wrong letter. When Indy steps on the letter J, tarantulas come out and crawl up his body. While in post-production, Spielberg decided this scene didn't have the impact he was looking for and redid the scene to the scene we know today. Well, that's a look at some of the deleted scenes from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now, I didn't really find any good or worth talking about deleted scenes for Crystal Skull, so I'm not going to do a video on it. It isn't a protest that I hate the Crystal Skull. It's a fine movie. It's an okay movie. Doesn't meet the standards of an Indiana Jones film, but you can sit back and enjoy it just for the fun of it. So it's not a protest about that film. Just, I'm not going to do deleted scenes from it. But I hope you enjoyed this series of deleted scenes from the Indiana Jones series, and maybe I'll look at some other films about their deleted scenes. And again, I apologize for doing just audio, but I woke up a little late and I had this big pillow crease on the side of my face. I don't think any of you want to look at that. Thank you for watching. As always, please thumb up my videos so I know you like my content. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.